Hello there, my beautiful Virgo signs. It's Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is all about you, Virgo. This is going to be a general message, so if something resonates, please hit that like button or comment and let me know down in the comments below. This is a traditional Celtic cross spread that I pull, so there's usually about 10 cards, but a bunch came flying out for you. So before I get on camera, when I meditate, I pull and listen to music, and that's kind of how I tap into my intuitive abilities. So the song I was listening to was called Enemy by Father of the Peace. You might want to check out, it's Father of Peace, not Father of the Peace, but Father of Peace. You might want to check out that song. It's a really cool song, nice melody. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the tarot for you, Virgo, and then I'm going to pull a bunch of oracle cards just kind of as confirmation for later. So again, if this message resonates, or if you're just interested in tarot, just watch the first half of the video. And then if you're interested in more guidance from spirit and your guides, make sure you check out the second half of this video. Now, your first card I pulled for you was a very interesting pull. It's the Four of Pentacles. This is your current vibe, your current energy. Maybe a lot of you are trying to save money financially for something, for a big purchase, or you're being a bit reserved when it comes to spending. You could also be kind of holding yourself back a little from something that might bring you a lot of money in the future. The cards that flew out that were crossing your Four of Pentacles here, what your challenge is in this situation, is the Ace of Swords and the Emperor. This was really cool to see because it all kind of cohesively flows together. Once I had all of the rest of the cards pull, it's a pretty clear message from your guides. The Ace of Swords is a card that's all about like speaking your truth, standing up for yourself, saying what you need to say by using your inner voice, by really tapping into your soul's knowing and your heart's knowing and speaking out. The Emperor is all about stepping into your masculine energy. So you might have to really, for whatever this is, or whatever you feel like maybe you're holding yourself back from, you might really have to tap into that Emperor energy at this time, because this is all about the yang. This is all about like putting on the big boy pants and like getting the work done and speaking up and saying what it is that you need to get off your chest. Now, the basis or the foundation of whatever's happening for you right now is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a very inspiring card. It's a new card of creative passions and endeavors. So something that you have a spark, you have a little bit of a light inside you somewhere, and the Page of Wands is what's fueling you at this point. It's like maybe you feel like you're holding yourself back from pursuing something that's going to be a passion project for you, or pursuing a new hobby or just a creative way of expression. And you're being really reserved at this time because in your past here, you have the Nine of Wands. This is the card of like a wounded warrior. Maybe in your past, people have told you like, no, you can't do that. That's not traditional. That's not going to make you money. That's not going to be rewarding for you. You're never going to be successful at that. So it's like all of these little wands for you are like those little voices in your head that tell you like, no, 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 doubt and fear. And it isn't exactly based in truth. And it's not based in light. So fear is a low vibration. When you're coming from a heart space of like a frequency of love, that's the heart space energy. That's the ultimate vibrational energy. That's, in a sense, the law of attraction as well, Virgo. So you're going to draw in more flies with honey than you will with this Knight of Wands card. So make sure you're coming in and being very authentically you, and having, I don't want to say being like defensive, but you are having to stand up for yourself and what you want. And just remember, nobody walks in your shoes but you. Nobody has gone through the things from the past other than you, Virgo. So there's no reason for anyone to judge you. If people are trying to give you like constructive criticism, that's a little different. But I do feel like a lot of the naysayers that you might be hearing or experiencing or feeling are going to kind of drag you down if you let them. So that's kind of your message from Spirit, is don't let them, because in your present energy, you have the Five of Cups. This is like apathy and regret. This is like, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't have done that in the past. And that idea didn't work out the last time. So maybe I shouldn't give this a go. Maybe, maybe, basically. This is all about maybe like remorse And Spirit is saying, like, there's 2 more cups over here. You still have 2 more chances to get something right or to pursue something else that might be fulfilling for you. So you could spend your time crying over these 3 cups that have spilled over, or you could take advantage of the lemonade you have left over from life's crappy lemons and try to use it for something good, because these 2 cards flew out as clarifiers. So it's like, whatever is in your energy with this wands, this creativity, this passion, this drive, whatever you're experiencing here is going to bring you true fulfillment, joy. You know, it may not be immediate financial gain or monetary reward, but over time, I do feel like usually those are the things that surprise us. Like our passion projects might unfold into something very, very great for you in the future here, Virgo. So Knight of Wands is a swift moving action. And then the Sun is also just a great card of joy and happiness and fulfillment. So I do feel like there is a lot to look forward to in the future. And I do feel like pursuing whatever this endeavor is going to be positive for you. Now, the next card I have is about your future energy. It's the Wheel of Fortune. This is divine timing at play. This is divine planning at play. This is like you tapping into your soul's knowing and pursuing your passion and your inner purpose and your soul purpose. Your soul has many purposes, but your soul can feel and sense when it's the right thing and the right timing. So I do feel like that is going to be unfolding in a manner that is divinely timed, because things don't always unfold when we want them to, but it's kind of when we need them to, or sometimes when Spirit needs to give us a little push to get us going. So the next card for this is like, what's your power in this situation? What's the basis of all this? Why are you doing this? What's the goal? And it's the Ace of Cups. So this is all about filling up your own cup first, Virgo. This is like filling, cups are about emotion. This is filling your own bucket before you're filling someone else's, filling your own cup before you're filling someone else's. This is a positive card of love and heart space energy as well. It's just a lot of joy and fulfillment is going to come from you drawing all of those positive things into yourself first, and then that's going to overflow into others. And a lot of the time, that is how creation works. So it's like, even something as simple as a song, most people, don't understand that the artist usually takes their pain and they turn it into a song, and they can alchemize it, and they can transmute their wounded warrior past, and they can really put it into something that's relatable to other people, and it helps other people feel validated and heard when that happens. So that's a great positive card. Now the next few cards are like, how do people see you, which was very interesting. The first card you have is the Devil. So it's like you're being tempted. People see you like being tempted to do something maybe you wouldn't have normally traditionally done, or it's breaking out of the mold of their traditional belief system or values or their cultural upbringing. Like they see you as being like the rebel, maybe a little bit bad, I suppose. But the clarifiers that flew out were the King of Cups and the Three of Wands. So maybe these people are like, oh, I know this is going to bring you joy and happiness, but you should probably wait. Like, you should do that later. Like, you get to have fun when you're retired. You shouldn't have fun now. And that's a lot of the times what people say when they're afraid. And again, you have to choose if you're going to choose fear or if you're going to choose love. And Spirit is really trying to guide you to choose this love energy, because it's going to fill up your cup, and then your cup is going to overflow and runneth over, and you're going to be able to fill up so many more cups because of this swift action and this positive creation like that's coming from this. It's just like, it's heavy energy, but I get a positive vibe for you, Virgo. So it's a very, I think it's going to be not only life-changing, but very motivating just overall. Now, the next card I have for you is the Queen of Swords. This is a card for you that's all about like, what's your hope and your fear? Maybe you feel like you're making this decision too quickly or too harshly, or like maybe you haven't thought of all of that possible avenues of outcome. But like the Queen of Swords is usually a card that can slice through people, because she is very like, she's not only meticulous, she's calculating, but in a good way. It's like she can be graceful when she needs to be, but she can also be cold and hard with the facts. And sometimes that's a bit off-putting to people when you say, like, you know, you want me to wait for this. I shouldn't pursue my dreams and passions now. I should pursue it in 15 years, you know, after my kids are out of the house, or I should do it after I'm in retirement. But I don't want to be like you. And that's kind of what the Queen of Swords is saying. Like, I don't want to make those decisions you made, because look how happy you are now. Like, or, you know, you could have had this joy and fulfillment 10 years earlier, but you chose to wait. So that's a choice and decision you're going to have to make here, Virgo. But this is all about like discernment as well. So make sure you're very discerning when it comes to your choices. And you know, you don't have to justify or explain your actions or decisions to anyone. So make sure you're not overly defensive, but make sure you're not over explaining yourself either. Now, the last card I have for your outcome here is the Magician. Well, I guess it's not exactly the last card. It's the second to last card, because I usually pull an additional card for the Celtic cross spreads, but I'll get to that in a minute. But the Magician here is your potential outcome. So this is like what's going to happen from all this. This is you making lemonade from the lemons that life gave you, Virgo, and you're really transmuting your pain. You're transmuting the past. You're transmuting this warrior energy, and you're turning it into this Knight of Wands, passionate, fiery joy that's going to bring you a lot of fulfillment. It could be, you know, like maybe you're diving into poetry, or you're throwing yourself into your arts and crafts and transmuting pain that way. A lot of artists paint, you know, and that's how they express themselves via their paintings. You know, and it doesn't have to be like creative like that. It could be like maybe you're making a computer program. I don't know. So keep that in mind. But the Magician is a great card to have in your potential outcome, because it's like almost like this like limitless opportunities that you have. Now, in your subconscious energy, I have the Nine of Cups. This is a wish come true, dream fulfillment. This is also another wonderfully joyous and abundant card to have in your reading, Virgo. This is going to bring you a lot of happiness. So don't let anyone hold you back. And I just noticed you have 2 9s in your deck. In the deck here, you have the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Cups. So 99 might be a significant number for you, or if you've been seeing angel number 99, that's just a confirmation. Wow. Okay. All right, Virgo, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the Oracle cards. If that's all you wanted to hear, then thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Again, smash that like button, and yeah, let me know in the comments if this message resonates for you. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to dive into about 10 Oracle cards for you, and to see what else Spirit has to say for you, Virgo, when it comes to this situation. Okay, you have the Ring. This is an interesting card. So this ring, it reminds me of the trifecta or the triquetra. I used to have a ring like this when I was a kid, actually, and it was like 3 individual parts that were kind of linked together, and it would roll, which was kind of weird, but it was very cool. It was a very cool ring, but that's kind of what it looks like. And it almost looks like a snake in the universe. So snakes are symbolic of knowledge and wisdom, and the trifecta or the triquetra is symbolic of well, that's a lot of things, but it's life, death, and rebirth, essentially. So it's like you might be going through an ego death, which is a dark night of the soul, where you're, eliminating shadow aspects of yourself, wounded warrior aspects of yourself that no longer serve you, and you're releasing that. And that's kind of what the death part of the life, death, rebirth is all about here. So I do feel like that's very symbolic too, because people see you in a different light, which is new to them. And sometimes people don't like change because they're resistant or fearful of it in their own lives. So I do feel like it's a positive move for you, Virgo, that you're letting go of old patterns or old habits, or maybe even old people or situations that aren't serving you anymore. Now, the next card I have for you says Identify. This is from my Third Eye Intuition deck. This is just kind of how to help hone your intuitive skills. It says, do you have or believe in women's intuition? How does this apply to you? If you're not a woman, is there a way perhaps a strong woman in your life might guide you here? So this could just be Spirit asking you to maybe consult a female friend or a motherly figure, especially because you're leaning into that Emperor energy that I pulled for you in your Celtic spread. So when you're kind of over leaning into the masculine, sometimes we need to have a little bit of clarity or a little bit of feminine empathy, basically, motherly understanding, which is unconditional love, essentially, to help us get through to ourselves, to make sure we're almost to validate our feelings, but it's more so about validating our experience. So you might want to talk to a female friend about that, or even honestly just being on here listening to this video, having me as a woman tapped into her masculine and feminine energy equally. I can listen so much. Obviously I can read the comments, but just maybe getting confirmation from a woman's perspective might be just all you need right now. So take that as it resonates. The next card I have for you says, I allow my soul to lead the way. Again, that's just coming from this heart space energy. Your soul, I believe, is firmly tied to your heart. I think that following your passions is going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness, especially when most people are content with being like stuck in the matrix and being cogs in the wheels for endless, time. So make sure you're following your heart space and doing it with pure and positive intentions, because it is all about setting intentions and making sure that you're doing something that's going to bring a lot of value, not only for yourself, but for the collective generally. So that's just a affirmation card. The next card is universe. Always be in harmony with the universe. This is about also tapping into your intuitive abilities. So make sure you're healing your crown chakra and your heart chakra and those things at this time, or meditating and grounding yourself. Go outside and touch grass. I just heard some celebrity say that the other day, and I was like, yep, I think it was Katy Perry actually. So she was talking about, getting back to your roots. And I do feel like that's totally probably one of the best messages a celebrity's ever said. The next card I have for you is from my Moon Oracle deck. This one is, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Some of you might be dealing with Sagittarius, or maybe you're going to be experiencing the shift in Sagittarian time, which is, just a few months from now in December. So that might be happening for you. The Power of Love card I pulled was the gratitude. Now, if you're in a state of fear or apathy or remorse or regret, and you just feel like you're just stuck in it and you're not sure how to get out, switch to an attitude of gratitude, because fear and love cannot coexist at the same time in your head. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So even if you're doing something as simple as writing down 5 things in a day that like you're grateful for, and it doesn't have to be like tangible things. It doesn't have to be like, I'm grateful for my phone. It needs to be, I don't want to say it needs to. It could be, and I prefer it to be gratitude for healthy lungs, gratitude for limbs that function properly, gratitude for, the abundance of life and the opportunity to pursue this passion and dream that some people may never have in their lifetime. So stuff like that just seems almost like simple, but it's not so simple if you're, not in your environment. There's a lot of people and, third world countries that struggle to even find clean water. So be grateful for that. And be grateful you have the luxury to watch some YouTube video and some random person talking about things. Now, the next card I have for you is the Wisdom Oracle card. It says New Life. This is number 39. Again, I do think this ties to this like ego death. It's like you're getting rid of old aspects of yourself that weren't serving you. And you're really tapping into that Queen of Swords energy, which is just cutting out people who aren't going to help elevate you. And sometimes people grow together or they grow apart. And wow, yeah, that can be sad. And I do feel like you're experiencing grief at this time. So maybe you're mourning the loss of yourself or who you had to change yourself to be because of all of life's trials and tribulations that you've gone through. It's like maybe you didn't want to have to be the person that feels so cold or harsh, but you don't really have any other choice if you're going to pursue your passions and your projects and your self-love in a way. A lot of the times I think I was watching a TikTok yesterday. It was like this lady was talking about how most women, especially millennials, were raised believing that if they sacrificed their needs, their emotional whatever, that was a positive thing. But really all it did was create a lot of women who are codependent and trauma bonded to partners that don't have their best interest in mind as a group or whatever. They just have, their sole interest in mind. And because unfortunately a lot of women, and this is a general statement, so if you're a man watching this, like, you can be taught by a woman to be a people pleaser as well. But I do feel like a lot of women have been taught to be people pleasers, and they've sacrificed themselves in doing so. But it was how young girls are typically raised in order to keep the peace. But then you have to take a step back and see, like, whose peace were they keeping? And anyone who is asking you to give up parts of yourself, or not validating your emotions, or telling you to suppress your feelings, that's not anyone who has your best interest in mind. It's someone who has their best interest in mind, and that's not how children are, in my opinion, should be raised. So yeah, a lot of random messages here, Virgo, but hopefully that helped. Again, if it did, please smash that like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.